Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by Between the Buried and Me, their new album, The Blue Nowhere. So it seems the band has decided to settle on a colour, following two Colours albums that pretty much are 1 and 2 in a what could be a trilogy, although I just feel like they just did a second one because the first one just did so good. Why not do a second one? Which wasn't as good, but still enjoyable. But The Blue Nowhere is the first taste away from the sequels. I'm happy that we're getting that, because the last two albums were sequels, but now we're getting a full unique concept for the record. And I've only been able to listen to The Blue Nowhere prior to the album release, and that one I wasn't big on, but that one's growing on me more. The kind of softer aspects are kind of a nice way to kind of take the album into a nice, calmer direction, even though Slow Paranoia still has some insane moments, but it's kind of a nice change of pace for the record. But I feel like the Blue Nowhere succeeds in the first half, where it's just very experimental. Each track just stands on its own right, whether it's a long song, whether it's a standard length for them, and that's the enjoyment of it. Things We'll Tell Ourselves in the Dark was a pretty fun single, first opening track. I haven't listened to this one until now, and I can see why it was picked as the lead single. Sure, it's not the most flashy, it's not the most catchy, probably the weaker of the first half of the record, but still one I think is a fun way to open the record off. But God Terror is where the meat really starts to drive. I feel God Terror just has some very fun guitars. I love the uncleans on this one, but then when you get into Absent Thereafter, that's where the real progressive elements shine beautifully. I love the ideas they have into this one. So one of the things that they do tremendously well here is they manage to blend so many different genres and make it feel like it's not just a random idea thrown into the mix, sort of like what 12 Foot Ninja was quite good at doing, where they will, albeit make short songs, but they would blend genres in a similar way to bands like Mr. Bungle would do it, with some kind of silly, wacky ideas that gives it its own progressive tune. And country western sound for some of the guitars and ideas was not on my cards, but it just shows why Absent Thereafter was a pretty good song for a single. This one was a lot of fun, and I think out of the 10-minute or longer tracks is probably my favourite. I think just the way they managed to shift the genres in here. Then you get kind of the smaller songs like Pause, which is a bit more of a slower build up into Door Number 3 track, and that one definitely is another fun one. I think it's got so many good elements, and I will say the second half isn't quite my cup of tea of it, but Door 3 just starts off strong, and I love that. And then when you get to the kind of second half, it doesn't quite carry the fun ideas the first half do, but it still has got some experimenting in it, and I appreciate that. I just don't think it pays off as well as Absent Thereafter, but Psychomantium and Slow Paranoia, still fun songs. I think they got some great hooks, they got some absolutely amazing riffs, and I think they just generally managed to settle for another pretty fun album with this one. And yeah, that's and then Beautifully Human as well is good too. So this Between the Buried and Me record definitely has got some fun ambitions, some fun ideas. It's not as unique or original for a concept, but the genre blending still fits, and they do give you some zany, wacky moments. But I feel like Colours, obviously being like their fan favourite album and just a magnum opus in their discography, manages to kind of do what this album does, but tenfold. It just feels like this album, it kind of tries to distinct itself, but it ends up treading on the same similar ideas that did, even as Colours 2, which is pretty much a sequel to Colours. It kind of doesn't necessarily break new ground, but it sticks to a formula that's well liked and respected, and I can kind of get that, because I still think this album's enjoyable. Not a song I'd skip. I feel like start to finish you can just listen to this and have a fun time with some good prog metal. Certainly not one of the band's highlights, but Blue Nowhere is still something I'd recommend. It's still got the fun energy of the band, it's just catchy, it's a pretty good album. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5, so I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.